We are a peaceful people. Struggle is we struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow and never break. Our fathers came here and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Big mistake. Cause we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right. So we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. So we ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people. Struggle is we struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains.
Honorable Mansour Nadir, Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Ministers of Government, Honorable Members of Parliament present here as well as connected virtually with us, participants of the 8th Annual Youth Parliament, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, colleagues, media, online audience, all. A pleasant morning to you and welcome to this, our official opening of the 8th Annual Youth Parliament. To start us off today, I will welcome the Honorable Minister Kwame McCoy to deliver some remarks and insight into Youth Parliament, the evolution of Youth Parliament in Guyana. Honorable Minister, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carlotta, Madam Chairperson, Mr. Speaker, members of the Diplomatic Corps, colleagues, and to you, the distinguished members of the National Youth Parliament. For me, it's a pleasure to join you this morning. As you know, the opening of the Youth Parliament is an important occasion, and it is an occasion in which many of you looking forward to the competitive spirit and debating, and of course, it has many benefits for the growth and development of you, our young people. It is remarkable to see so many of our youth here today, ready to participate in the 8th Youth Parliament and for to strengthen our democratic resolve to include Guyanese youth in our national decision-making process. Your presence here underscores that youth across our country are increasingly active and engaged in finding solutions to macro, political, social, and economic issues relevant to your lives. Of course, this narrative is oftentimes missed by the media as we are bombarded incessantly about the negative societal ills which a few young people might be engaged in. But the Youth Parliament honors the commitments Guyana have made to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, to uphold the right of young people to have a say and to have the opportunity to express their views on matters that affect them. Our Youth Parliament has always provided a forum for young Guyanese to develop and express their opinions on societal topics in a frank and positive environment where they are all embraced, mentored, and provided a platform to debate and jointly brainstorm on the possible solutions to a wide range of current challenges. As the former executive director of the Youth Parliament of Guyana, which was started back in the year 1999, I have been fortunate to work with hundreds of enthusiastic young people who have helped to shape and drive national policies through resolutions passed by the Youth Parliament of Guyana. The concept of Youth Parliament, even in its current construct and leadership, remains an inspiring example to us as national leaders and parliamentarians, as there is a value in engaging in constructive dialogue in a spirit of mutual respect and peaceful collaborative efforts that transcends partisan interests. Therefore, I thank you, the Honorable Speaker, Manzu Nadir, and your staff for the tremendous efforts that ensure that our young people are provided the opportunity to participate in this noble and fulfilling forum. To our young people, your participation in Youth Parliament holds tremendous benefits. You take so much more back with you to your communities, homes, schools, and other parts of your life. My own experience has shown that you learn to recognize and respect different perspectives during the sessions, and that participants tend to become more confident in expressing their views publicly. Our country is in the midst of an unprecedented accelerated growth in both oil and non-oil sectors. I believe that we have young people in our midst that are bold, committed, and ready to seize available opportunities, a cadre ready to make the tough decisions to protect our patrimony and safeguard our democracy from those who seek to destabilize our economy, disrupt harmonious relations amongst our citizens, and perpetuate ill will through the spread of misinformation. We have in our midst young people who are able to formulate plans for their participation in our oil economy while championing the adaptation of modern approaches to traditional sectors of agriculture, health, and education. These solutions are not for future leaders to develop as we love to pronounce in Guyanese parlance. But our young leaders today who are participating in the 8th Youth Parliament have the golden opportunity to demonstrate far beyond these sessions their commitment to nation building. This is why our government has made all possible attempts to realize the dreams of the youth population, and to strengthen their resolve to be active participants in transformational agenda programs, which are all part of underpinning the inclusionary principles which our current accelerated development translates to prosperity for all Guyanese, including our young people. We strongly believe that the youth of today should benefit from the increased opportunities available through our resolve to create the enabling environment, such as the enactment of local content legislation that ensures opportunities for employment and business ownership in the oil and gas sector, all provided to Guyanese first. We are keen to learn from our youth. Hence, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has ensured more monies are poured into education and sports, along with other important measures, such as the re-establishment of the President's Youth Award Republic of Guyana program and the appointment of a President's Youth Advisory Council. We are moving ahead in the right direction. You have the responsibility to take maximum advantage of it and certainly to lead further efforts. During your deliberations at the 8th Youth Parliament, I caution you to embrace the highest debating ideals with the common understanding that the views of your fellow youth members of Parliament, as well as your own, have a legitimate right to be considered. I close by encouraging you all to collectively determine your recommendations, having regard always to the public good. Once again, it's a pleasure for me to be joining you, and I wish you all the best in the 8th National Youth Parliament of Guyana.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those very propelling words. And I say propelling because if our youth parliamentarians heed those words, I am sure they will become great leaders of tomorrow. At this time, I invite Her Excellency Judy Kapogo, the Deputy British High Commissioner, for her words of remarks and some insight into the British parliamentary system. Your Excellency.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you, Your Excellency. You may proceed.
Okay, my apologies for not being on camera. I've been having a bit of IT issues. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed youths of Guyana. I am delighted to present to you today to shed light on the Westminster model of parliament. As young citizens, it's crucial to understand how government operates and how it directly impacts on your lives and the future of your nation. The Westminster model of parliament, named after the place, the Palace of Westminster in London, is a system of governance that has been adopted by many countries around the world, including Guyana. It is founded on the principle of representative democracy, where elective representatives make decisions on behalf of the people they serve. I'll give you an example. In the UK, the parliament consists of two chambers, the House of Commons, also known as the lower house, and the House of Lords, also known as the upper house. The House of Commons is composed of elected officials known as members of parliament, MPs, who represent specific constituency. The House of Lords, on the other hand, is made up of appointed members who provide more deliberative and a more deliberative role. I'm aware that there are differences in Guyana. and you have just one chamber. But one of the key features of the Westminster module, which stands in its concept of government accountability, is the concept of government accountability, my apology. Ministers who are responsible for specific government departments are chosen from among the elected MPs. They are held accountable for their actions and decisions through regular questioning and debates in Parliament. And this actually ensures that the government remains transparent and answerable to the people. Additionally, the Westminster module promotes the notion of loyal opposition. This means that political parties that are not in power have a vital role in holding government accountable. They provide constructive criticism, propose alternative policies, and in most cases ensure that the government do not abuse its power. This system fosters healthy debate, ensures a balance of power within the Parliament. Furthermore, the Westminster module places great importance on the separation of powers. The executive, legislative, and judicial branches of the government are distinct entities with checks and balance in place to prevent any single branch becoming too powerful. This ensures that nobody or group can dominate the decision-making process. Thereby, it does safeguard the interest of the people. As young Guyanese, it's important to understand how government works, and it should give you a voice and empower you to actively participate in democratic process. You have the power to elect representatives who will champion your interests and hold the government accountable. By understanding the workings of the Westminster modules, we actively engage in political discourse, express our opinions, and contribute to the development of our nation. It's through our collective effort that we can shape a brighter future for ourselves and future generations. In conclusion, the Westminster module of Parliament is a cornerstone of our democratic system. It provides a framework for government accountability, a platform for constructive opposition, and a system of checks and balances. Let us educate ourselves about the nuances and actively participate in the democratic process. Thank you very much for asking me to come and speak. And I wish you every success in your deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. That was very, very informative. I trust our youth parliamentarians paid keen attention to that. Once again, I thank you. And at this time, for our feature remarks, I will invite none other than the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Mansour Nadir, a man who's very passionate about youth development, youth engagement, and the prosperity of our nation. Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our Deputy Speaker, Dr. Ashi Kissoon, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Minister McCoy, distinguished youth parliamentarians, staff, media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Again, it's an honor for me to say a few words at the launch of Youth Parliament 2023. This is now the 8th Youth Parliament which we have conducted under the Parliament of Guyana. And I want to first welcome all of the young parliamentarians who are here today with us. The young parliamentarians came through a process of regional youth debates, the national youth debate, selections from secondary schools for the schools youth parliament, and also from persons who present applications to join the youth parliament, and more particularly, justifications why they should be chosen. And so today, On International Day of the Youth, August 12th, let me also compliment all of our young people in Guyana and the region and the world at large on International Youth Day. We have chosen to launch Youth Parliament over the past 3 years on August the 12th, International Youth Day. And today is no exception. From what I've seen on the agenda, it's going to be another exciting Youth Parliament. And remember, those who perform well and the winners go on next year to the Regional Youth Parliament. The Regional Youth Parliament in 2023 was held in Turks and Caicos, and we had 2 representatives from Guyana who were previous outstanding performers at youth parliaments. And this year, we will have those who did extremely well, at least one, going on to youth parliament for the Caribbean. And this is now a structured approach to engaging our young people in parliamentary procedure and parliamentary processes. I want to thank the Deputy High Commissioner of the UK High Commission in Georgetown for her presentation. Parliament goes back a very long way, over 800 years, when the people in the United Kingdom wanted more representation at the level of the king. And that is how the name House of Commons evolved. So thank you very much, Excellency Judy Kapogo, the Deputy High Commissioner of the United Kingdom to Guyana, for that informative address on the Westminster Parliament. Young people, it's going to be an exciting time, especially the physical sessions. And I want you to make as many friends as possible. And more particularly, open your minds to learning process. The system of parliamentary democracy is built on the foundation of persons having a voice, having a say, being able to comment. It's also based on a system of majoritarian rule. So the will of the majority gets executed. And so if you're a minority, you have to work even harder to convince more persons so you could end up in the majority, to convince them of your views. But more particularly, must be done in an orderly fashion with respect for each other's rights. You have a right to speak, a right to associate with people of your own views, and a right to democracy. But with those rights have the concomitant responsibilities. And if we can do things in an orderly fashion, if we can do things with respect for each other, we will get more progress. I have had recently to do some research on democratic countries. And 10 years ago, today, and 20 years from now, 8 out of 10 of the world's biggest economies and international traders are democratic countries, way ahead of most of the others. So democracy will deliver a better standard of living, a better society for all the people. And I have seen in my engagement with democracy and parliamentary processes that, and also looking at other systems of centralized control and their form of democracy, And I'll tell you, I am yet to convince after being in youth parliaments since 1983. And that's a long time. I think many of your parents may not have been born. But it's a long time, and I'm yet to be convinced that there is a better system than the Westminster system of parliamentary democracy. It's not perfect. And you'll be living in a fool's paradise if you have to please everyone. Hard choices have to be made. But in making those choices, the process of respecting a person's right to have a view, to have a say, and then everyone respecting the will of the majority, those for me are the important ingredients in moving and uplifting humanity. I am pleased, as I said once again, to be involved in this opening of the 8th Youth Parliament and to welcome everyone to Youth Parliament 2023. I now declare Youth Parliament 2023 open and wish you well in your deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And that brings the curtains down on the official launch of the 8th Annual Youth Parliament 2023. Let me again express gratitude to those of you who are present here, as well as those connected virtually, our online audience as well. We thank you, we appreciate you. We will resume shortly for the official training sessions for our youth parliamentarians. Once again, thank you, everyone.
We are a peaceful people. Struggle is we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about